Good guys, and welcome to another video. And as you can see from the title of this video today, we're going to talk about what happens when you retain your sexual energy for 30 days straight. The reason I wanted to get into this video is because what you will notice is on the first 30 days of retaining your sexual energy, you will start to notice the most amount of benefits and the most amount of change. Once you reach 30 days, you will notice that things become a lot easier. You will have rewired your brain and your thinking is going to be completely different. And next to that, I made a free guide that will help you reach your first 30 days of semen retention. You can download it for free in the description link down below. And let's just hop into the video, guys. Right, so what starts to happen, guys, is that you will start to notice three things will start to change: your mental state, your physical state, and your spiritual state. And we're going to go over every single one of them. So the first thing that will happen when you hop on 30 days of semen retention is you start to rewire your brain. Now, what does that mean? What exactly does it mean to rewire your brain? What is actually happening here is that you will start to reset your dopamine system, because an ejaculation, busting too many nuts, releases an incredible amount of dopamine. Now, once you start to do this again and again and again, your brain starts to crave more of that, right? It becomes more of an addiction. The problem with constantly releasing so much dopamine is that normal things that are good for you, things that level you up, start to become less pleasurable. You will feel less likely to do those things. You feel less motivated. You start to feel less drive. Now, what starts to happen when you hop on 30 days of semen retention? You get rid of the ejaculation, right? So your dopamine is completely able to reset. And what you will start to notice is that things like working out or reading a book or just drinking a cup of coffee, they become way more enjoyable, because those things also release some dopamine, right? Every time you drink a cup of coffee, there's some dopamine there. Every time you hit a good workout, there's dopamine released there. And now you actually start to enjoy those things so much more, because your brain is no longer craving the huge release of dopamine you get from an ejaculation. So you can see the danger of busting too many nuts, right? Because the amount of dopamine your brain needs to even feel some type of pleasure is so extremely high that it will become very hard for you to enjoy simple things. You won't get as much joy out of improving your life. You won't get as much joy out of doing difficult things. So another thing you will notice, and another thing that starts to happen when you rewire your brain, is that hard things start to feel good. And there's a reason for this, right? Every time you start to do something that is very difficult, that is not very pleasurable, like going for a run, but on the long term, it's going to do very good things for you, those things will actually become a lot better. They will feel so much better, because the dopamine release you get from, let's say, going on a run now actually starts to be enjoyable, because your brain is no longer used to having this rush of dopamine from busting these nuts, right? So that's a beautiful thing, guys. You start to rewire your brain. So the second thing you will notice, guys, is that you will start to see an increase in your masculine energy. Now, what does it mean to have an increase in your masculine energy? What this means is that you will feel, one, more assertive, you feel more clarity, you feel more confidence, you feel more aggression even, right? Now, you might think, I don't want to feel aggressive, or I don't want to feel this pent-up aggression. So what you'll start to notice, guys, is that once you hop on this journey for 30 days, it depends, right? You can either feel a tense aggression, and this used to happen for me as well, whenever I would still lost too much in my mind, or I would still continue to focus all my energy on lustful thoughts. What you will start to notice is, yes, your masculine energy starts to increase, but you can also feel this tense aggression within yourself that is not a good aggression. And then you have the other aggression where it's just flowing. You're in the gym, let's say, and you put this aggression out into the weights, or you have a project you're working at. You can put that aggression, that masculine energy, into those types of things. It's an amazing feeling, guys. And I started to notice this for myself as well, remembering the first time I hopped on this journey for 30 days. I just started to tap into an energy, my masculine energy, I was never aware of. And I started to realize, wow, the majority of men never actually get to experience the amazing masculine energy and drive they have within themselves, because they are constantly wasting it away. So this is something you will definitely notice, guys. It's an increase in your masculine energy. And here is another beautiful thing. And this is that you will start to really get rid of your addictions so much easier. Your bad habits, your vices, you see. Because this has to do with rewiring your brain. What you will notice, right, if you, let's say, you struggle with the dirty websites, I can guarantee you, if you make it to 30 days of semen retention, it's going to be so much easier and so much more effortless to get rid of all this stuff altogether, right? This happened to me as well, guys. Like for me, it was just one thing after the other. Whenever I hopped on semen retention, you just naturally become drawn to things that level you up. Because you've rewired your brain at this point, you no longer want to do anything with these things. You no longer want to be in these bad habits. You start to gain the clarity for yourself, and you start to understand that, hold on, like this is not it anymore. And it becomes so much easier for you to just do something else and not be involved in all of this, because you are really rewiring your brain right here, which is extremely, extremely powerful. So obviously it's quite ironic if you struggle with the dirty website. Yes, it's going to be hard to, let's say, hit 30 days of semen retention. But then again, if you do make it to 30 days of semen retention, you most likely don't feel as much of an urge anymore to do all these bad habits. Alright guys, so the next thing is the physical aspect of hopping on semen retention for 30 days. The first thing that will happen is that your nervous system is not getting as much of an impact anymore. It's starting to recover more, because guess what happened, guys? Whenever you bust a nut, you hit your nervous system. It's the same as hitting a hard workout, let's say. When you have too many workouts, at some point you feel overtrained, because this is your nervous system that needs to recover. Now, the same thing you do when you constantly bust too many nuts, right? You are just hitting more on that nervous system. Your body is constantly recovering and making new semen, which takes a tremendous amount of energy, guys. It's said that it takes between 40 to 80 drops of blood to create 1 drop of semen. That is absolutely wild. That is absolutely crazy. Now imagine what happens if you do this every single day. Your body is constantly recovering. It's constantly in a state of recovery. So there's just not a single way you can even just work in peak performance, just live in peak performance, guys. Truly, if you make it 30 days, if you just try it out for yourself, you will just start to notice so many new things, so much more energy arising within yourself, and such a different way of living will just pop up to the surface, right? Beautiful things start to happen, guys. So your nervous system gets to recover, so your body in general is just more recovered, right? You're just more energized. Your body has more energy to do other things, to go to your brain, to whatever, right? It's amazing. So the second thing on the physical aspect, yes, internally you start to feel more powerful, but actually physically you start to feel more power. You start to feel more output. You just start to have more of an increasing strength. And what I mean with that, and this is linked to the increase in aggression and masculine energy you feel, you have more of this explosive output with your body. And the reason this is happening is because, once again, your nervous system is a lot more recovered. So your body again has so much more energy to do other things. So this is something I've noticed myself again and again, guys. I would just have, let's say when I go to the gym, I just have more of this like explosive power to just push out an extra few reps, right? This is something that is just going to happen when you hop on this journey, because your body is more recovered. So another thing that's going to happen, guys, is that you will no longer have to deal with prolactin, right? It's not going to happen, because what's going to happen, guys, every time you bust the nuts, your prolactin starts to increase. Now, what does prolactin do? Prolactin makes you tired, and prolactin makes you lazy, and prolactin doesn't make you want to do anything. Now, obviously, to never have that isn't necessarily wrong. There's nothing wrong about that per se, but you can see what happens if you do this too often, right? You are constantly in a state of increased prolactin, which just makes you not want to take action, which makes you not want to do anything, which makes you want to sit on the couch, watch Netflix all day, just not do too much. You don't want to hit the gym, you don't want to go out for a run, you don't want to talk to the girl. No single way. It's just simply not going to happen, right? Because you're constantly in a state where your prolactin is high. Right, so the next thing you will notice is that your spiritual side will start to change. And what I mean with that is that, first of all, you will start to really understand your purpose more. Your purpose becomes more clear, because you're no longer in this state of brain fog. You're no longer in a state of increasing prolactin. You're no longer in the grip of your addictions, right? It's going to take a while. But if all these things are gone, right? The addictions, the prolactin, your nervous system is recovered, there's so much more mental space for you to really start to get new thoughts, to get new ideas, to get new things, and start to understand that, hold on, wait, the next step that I need to take becomes very clear to me, and that is my purpose. These things just start to be open for you. These things start to be discovered by hopping on this journey, guys. So the next thing you will start to notice, guys, is that your clarity starts to increase, and many men hopping on this journey will in fact confirm that you feel more focus and you feel more clarity, and it just becomes so much easier to think. Your mind is clear, your thoughts are clear, you just know what to do, and as you can see, it's very much linked again to your purpose. And the next thing you will start to notice is that your prana will increase. Now you might think, what is my prana? What even is that, right? And there's so many different names for it. You can call it prana. In Chinese traditions, they call it qi. You can call it shakti. There's so many different names for it, but what it means is that this is your spiritual energy. This is the energy you're starting to build within yourself. Your sexual energy is also your spiritual energy, and you will start to notice is that when you increase this spiritual energy, your prana, it becomes so much more easier to feel a deeper connection to God. It becomes so much easier to really start to get more mystical types of experiences. It becomes so much easier and so much more likely to feel way more connected to something beyond yourself, to something higher than yourself. You start to feel a closer connection to God, whatever God means to you. If this is something you desire, this is what you will start to feel. It's because you're building up your sexual energy, your prana. So these are many of the amazing things that will happen when you retain your sexual energy for 30 days. By the way, if you are someone that is struggling with addictions, that is struggling with dirty websites, and you just want to feel empowered and you want to feel strong and get rid of these addictions forever and master semen retention, I still have a few spots available. So if you are interested and you want to see if we're a good fit, feel free to book a free call with me. There's also a link for that in the description link down below. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I truly hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.